Hello, I am Jen, and I am coming to you from my front porch today. It is a delightful, sunny, breezy day. It seemed like it would be a waste to stay inside. So today I'm going to share a nice, gentle yoga practice with you. All of it will be on the mat. We're going to start from the neck and the shoulders and move our way down into the hips and the legs. One of our theme for today is kindness. I posted on my Facebook wall the other day a quote that said, "If you can't be kind, be quiet." So we have a habit of, especially when we're typing on our computers, saying things maybe we normally wouldn't just because we're behind a computer, or maybe even saying things to someone's face. That's not kind and maybe not even necessary. Um, and the other thing is also we need to be kind to ourselves, to that inner voice that we have up here that sometimes can be very negative. Um, once had a friend who said, if you spoke to yourself the way your inner voice speaks to you, would you want to be friends with that person? So I think kindness starts with being kind to ourselves, um, and not listening to that inner voice that can be negative sometimes, to possibly, when it is, say, be quiet and move on and remember that you're doing the best that you can and share your kindness with other people. And it expands out into the world. And I think we need a lot more of that. So, throughout your practice today, really think about being kind to yourself. If the pose isn't working for you, try a modification, or perhaps come out of the pose and maybe sit or do a child's pose if that feels better. This is your practice. Be gentle with yourself and honor yourself throughout the practice. Um, as usual, there will not really be any props other than a blanket that I like to use to sit on. So I'm going to do that now. A nice folded blanket, a towel, whatever will work for you. So prop the hips up, bring the knees down. We're going to start seated today. Excuse me. Hands on your knees and just keep your eyes open. Just take a few deep breaths. That's all. And again. And one more time. In, side out. So I'm going to start today with some left nostril breathing. So you're going to bring your right thumb and gently close your right nostril. If you have a cold or your nose is congested, this might not work for you today, so just do regular breathing. But if you would like to try it, you can keep your fingers down here, down by your palm, or maybe bring your fingers up towards your third eye. Again, it's completely up to you what feels more comfortable. I'm going to place my hands up by my third eye, and all I want you to do is close your eyes and begin to breathe in and out of your left nostril. So just inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Just try to make the inhales and exhales as even as possible. Maybe counting to 4 as you inhale, count to 4 as you exhale. Inhale and exhale. And take a few more rounds. One more round. And place your hand on your knee. Close your eyes and just notice how you feel. Left nostril breathing is really for calming the mind, calming the blood pressure, So it's a very easy pranayamic practice to do when you're feeling stressed or frustrated, irritated, anxious. Find a quiet spot, close that nostril, breathe in and out. You can do it for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever feels good for you. And then stop. Take a couple of regular, maybe even a couple of cleansing breaths where you inhale and exhale with a big sigh. And then go back to what you were doing. So we're going to start our practice now. Just maybe move back and forth. Roll your shoulders just a little bit. Then we're going to inhale. We're going to bring our arms up and overhead. And exhale our hands down by your side. And inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. We're going to inhale up. Reach those fingertips up towards the sky. Imagine you're touching the clouds. And then take your left hand outside your right knee. Bring your right hand behind you. Press that hand down into the mat or your blanket. Lift your chest and start to twist, maybe looking over your back shoulder or maybe just looking to the side. Just inhale, get a little bit longer. And exhale, see if you can twist a little bit deeper. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. And on an inhale, inhale your arms up and overhead. And we're going to twist to the other side. So again, just press that back hand into the mat or the blanket. Find some length in your spine. Inhale, get longer. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. One more breath. Inhale, you're going to bring those arms up and overhead. And we're going to bring that right hand down to your mat. You're going to reach through those left fingertips. And then we're going to flow to the other side. So exhale as you come to your side. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. One more time on each side. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. Exhale down. Inhale those arms up and overhead again. And exhale your hands down by your side. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale. Bring your hands to your knees. And we're going to do some seated cat-cows. So we're going to inhale. You're going to push that belly out. Lift the chin and the chest. And as we exhale, we're going to round the spine. We're going to bring those shoulders and pull that belly back kind of into like a little hammock shape. Inhale, come forward and lift. Exhale, come back into that hammock again. Inhale up. Exhale back. 2 more rounds. Inhale up. Exhale back. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale back. And inhale, we're going to come back to seated. And we'll start some body circles. So we're just going to lean forward and come back. And lean forward and come back. Maybe close your eyes. Just let the body move the way it feels it needs to. Maybe they're smaller circles, or maybe you want to make them really big. Maybe you want to pause in the front for just a moment and then keep circling around. And there's no right or wrong. And then we slowly start to change direction. So coming around again. And one more time, we're going to start making these circles a little bit smaller, and a little bit smaller, and a little bit smaller, until we come to see it again. Now we're going to go ahead and bring our legs out in front. And just kind of tap those thighs, bounce those knees a little bit, and you can stay up on the blanket if you want to, if that is comfortable. We're going to do a forward fold. So we're going to inhale those arms up and overhead. Reach those fingertips. Again, reach as though you're reaching towards the clouds. Press through those heels, flex those feet. You see my toes are reaching back towards me. Sorry for my dirty feet. We're going to inhale up. We're going to exhale, come halfway down. And we're going to inhale up. Exhale, come halfway down. Inhale up again. Exhale, come halfway down. Really reach through those fingertips. Reach through the crown of your head toward your toes. And on your next exhale, just bring your hands down. Maybe they reach your feet. Maybe they come to the mat on either side of your calves. Again, lengthen your spine here. We're not collapsing and rounding. We're finding length and being tall. I'm going to give a few rounds of breath here. Another inhale and an exhale. And on an inhale, slowly come all the way up, nice and easy. Again, maybe tap those thighs, bounce those knees a little bit. Now, you're going to cross the right leg over the left. And you're going to bring that foot back towards your hip and bring your knee wherever it's going to land. Kind of knee on top of knee, or if you're here, that is fine. We're coming into what we call shoelace pose. Couple of different variations. You can stay right here. You're probably feeling a nice stretch already if you have tight hips right in your side. You can stay here, or you can bring the other foot behind. Again, kind of stacking those knees, maybe come up and drop your hips back down. If you are here or here, what you do is just bring your hands down by your side, find length in your spine, drop the shoulders down. Take a couple of breaths here. Just start breathing into that outer hip. Feel the stretch. Don't judge the stretch, just feel it, notice it. Imagine the breath is swirling around in that hip, loosening, relaxing. You can stay right here if this is enough for you, or maybe slowly start to fold forward. Just reaching the fingertips out. Nothing special here. Maybe drop your chin, your nose, whatever is coming down towards your leg. But again, lengthen the spine so we reach through the crown of the head. Nice and long here. We give 4 deep breaths. So inhale, maybe drop the palms down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, exhale. And inhale, exhale. Slowly start to bring those hands back. I'm going to uncross that leg very nice and gently. Bring the other one in front. And again, tap those thighs, maybe bounce the knees a little bit. And we're going to switch sides. So you can take the left leg. And again, you're going to bring that foot over next to your hip. Maybe your knee stacks on top, or maybe your knee is over here. Wherever it is, just find a comfortable spot. Kind of move that calf out of the way. Staying here. Or you can bring the leg back behind you. Or beside you, actually. So again, maybe pop up and drop those hips back down. Get nice and long here. We're going to take a few breaths just sitting here. Again, noticing the stretch in the side of the hip. Just feeling that breath move around in the hip. Let it soften. See if you are resisting. Let go. And again, you can stay here or maybe start to fold forward. Drop the palms down. We're going to take 4 breaths. 2, 3, and 4. On an inhale, slowly come back up. Walk those hands back. Extend that leg out. Extend the other leg out. Nice and gentle here. Again, bounce the knees. Tap the thighs a little bit. Now we're going to come onto our hands and knees. If you have sensitive knees, please place a blanket underneath your knees. Give it a little bit of a cushion. I am. So on your hands and knees. So our shoulders are over our wrists. The fingers are fanned out nice and wide. The index finger is pointing straight towards the front of your mat. And all I want you to do is start rocking back and forth. So front to back, front to back. Nice and easy. And then what I want you to do is you're going to come back to center. You drop your hips to the right. Turn your head to the left. Look over back towards your feet. Back to center. Drop the hips to the left. Turn towards your right. Look to your feet. And again, drop the hips to the right. Turn to the left. Come back to center. Hips to the left. Turn towards the right. And back to center. To do some hip circles. So you drop your hips down and around. I'm sure you can hear the wind is kicking up just a little bit. And you're going to change directions. And then slowly again, making smaller circles, smaller circles, smaller circles. And then just come back to center and wiggle the hips from side to side. Now you're going to bring your right foot forward on your mat. So your knee is stacked right above your ankle. So we're stacking the joints to help protect the joints. Maybe slide the other knee back, tuck your toe under, maybe slide that knee back just a little bit. Working into the front of the hip, where the hip flexor is. We're opening through here. So drop that hip down and forward. Fingertips on the mat, or maybe your palms are on the mat. And drop your head down. Really allow yourself to drop into it. And again, sending the breath through that hip area. Again, notice if you're resisting the pose. Notice if you're trying to pull back. See if you can sink down in just a little bit. Not pushing yourself past your edge, but staying to where you can really feel the stretch and let it happen. Let's give this 3 more breaths. And I want you to slowly work your fingers back. And we're going to straighten that front leg as much as you can. There can be a bend. Doesn't absolutely have to straighten. If your hamstrings are really tight, you're going to have a bend in that knee. Lift those toes up. So your toes are pointed up towards the ceiling, the sky. Maybe wiggle that leg out just a little bit more in front of you. You drop your hips towards your heels. You can stay right here, or maybe inhale, lengthen a little bit, and exhale, fold forward. Finding hamstring stretch. So again, notice if you're resisting the stretch. See if you can soften and let go a little bit. Two more breaths. Then slowly start to come forward again. And rock into the lunge and back to our hamstring stretch. Rock into that lunge and then the hamstring stretch. And one more time forward. One more time back. We're going to come forward. We're going to bring our knee back, come back to our tabletop pose, and just wiggle those hips from side to side. We're going to come to the other side, so bring the left foot forward. And again, we're making sure that the knee is stacked over the ankle. We don't want that knee coming way far forward or working into the hip here. Again, fingertips down on the mat. Drop that hip forward, maybe tuck the back toe under, lift the knee, bring that leg back just a little bit more. And then drop into it. Drop your head down. Breathe into the front of that hip. Let it breathe. Let it open. Two more breaths. And slowly start to walk those hands back. Straighten that front leg the best you can. Lift the toes up. Again, maybe bring that heel to the center of the mat just a little bit more. Drop the hips down towards the heel. Maybe inhale and exhale over that front leg. Going to give it 3 more breaths. Slowly come back up. Start to walk the hands forward. Bring the foot back down to the mat. And we're just going to flow back and forth. One more time forward. And back. And come forward. And make your way back to your hands and knees. Again, wiggle the hips. Maybe do some cat-cows. And take a moment for yourself here. Do what feels good. Now we're going to come onto our backs. So you can move that blanket away for now. So come onto your backs, nice and slow. Bring your knees into your chest. And just rock from side to side. Nice and easy. And come back to center. Go ahead and bring your feet down onto the mat. We're going to come into supine pigeon, or sometimes it's called thread the needle. So you can take the right ankle right above the left knee. So kind of making a figure 4 right here with your leg. Flex that right foot so the leg is engaged. You can stay here, or maybe grab the back of that leg. You can leave the leg just kind of droop here, or maybe extend it up. Again, your choice, but make sure you're not stressing at the neck and the shoulders. So do what works to keep this part relaxed. I'm going to stay here for about 5 deep breaths. So in through the nose, out through the nose. Energetically pushing that right knee away from you. And slowly bring that foot back down to the mat if you had it extended and up. And bring the right leg down. And we're going to switch sides. So again, the left foot is going to be right above that right knee. We're going to flex the foot, push through that heel to engage the leg. You can stay right here. Or go ahead, grab the back leg. Pulling that leg towards you, energetically pushing the knee away. And as you can see, my cat Salem has decided to join us. And then go ahead, extend the leg if you want to, or leave it down. It's completely up to you. Breathe into the hip. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck. Three more breaths. And slowly bring that foot back down to the mat if it's not already there. Bring the other foot down. And I want you to bring your feet out as wide as the mat. The knees are still bent, but the feet are on the edge of the mat. Maybe your pinky toe is off of the mat. And just bring your knees together, just for a moment. Then separate your knees, and I just want you to bring your arms out to a T, and then start to slowly windshield wiper your legs back and forth. Nice and easy. Now the next time you come to the right side, just drop everything down to the mat. You can gaze up towards the ceiling or turn your head to the left if that is comfortable. If it's not, don't worry about it. You can take your left foot, maybe place it on top of take your right foot, place it on top of your left knee. We're going to give this about 4 or 5 deep breaths. Now, if your foot is on your knee, slowly bring that foot down, still keeping it wide on the mat, lifting the knees up, slowly dropping to the other side. And this time the left foot can come on top of the right knee, reaching the arms out. Maybe the head turns towards the right, or maybe it just simply is straight up towards the ceiling. Your choice. Salem really likes this yoga blanket, so that's why she's here. One more deep breath. Again, bring the foot back down to the mat. If it was on the knee, lift the knees up. Using gentle back and forth movements, windshield wipering the legs. I want you to bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Again, maybe rock from side to side. Now we're going to come into legs up the wall. So all I want you to do is extend your legs up. Now flex your feet, not too much, but just enough to keep the legs engaged. You can place your hands at the back of your thighs or just have your hands down by your side. And kind of let the legs be heavy, letting that blood flow come from the legs back into the heart. This is a great pose to actually do up against the wall. Just kind of slide your hip against the wall, lift your legs up. It's great if you're having trouble sleeping, so try it maybe before you go to bed. 2 more breaths here. And slowly bend your knees back into your chest. Extend your legs out in front of you. We're getting ready for Shavasana. So you can bring your feet out wide to the corners of your mat. Maybe bring your arms out really wide too. Scoot your shoulder blades together. Lift your chest. Find a comfortable spot. And I encourage you to really stay in Shavasana. It's only going to be a few minutes, and I will be back after it's done. Maybe you can hear the breeze or a bird coming by. Just enjoy the next few moments. Close your eyes and deeply breathe. And let the practice settle into your body. I want you to take an inhale through your nose and an exhale through your mouth. Keeping those eyes closed, staying on the mat. Maybe wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe reach your arms overhead, give yourself a big stretch. Bring your knees into your chest, give yourself one last big squeeze. And slowly rolling over to whichever side is comfortable for you. And slowly making your way up to seated at the front of your mat. And keeping your eyes closed. Put your hands on your knees, palms facing up. Maybe bring your thumb and your index finger together. Take a few breaths. Just take in your practice and notice how you feel. So before we close today, I will share that quote with you again. If you can't be kind, be quiet. Your hands to heart center. I thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Be well, be happy, be kind. Namaste.